Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we'll be talking about the state of altcoins. If you do like this video and the other videos that I make on this channel, be sure to hit the like button down below and also consider subscribing. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers, please, and thank you for your time. So let's jump right into it. This is a welcome site. As you can see on my right, everything's in the green, except for ADA, but ADA's been on a insane tear anyway, so I would just I wouldn't look too much into this. But we see Bitcoin is bouncing, we see Ethereum bouncing, we see Chainlink bouncing. This is pretty impressive, among other altcoins, and this is something that is interesting, right? We have broken the 20-week moving average. I'll flip it to the daily because I have the moving average set to 140, which is the 20-week moving average on the daily. We see that we have broken the 20-week moving average. And the battle still, I think the battle is still ongoing, right? We're not too far away for us to just come back above it. And I've mentioned before that these points of contact to the 20-week can happen, for weeks, for 7 weeks, in some cases, and during that time we might see rallies or relief rallies, and this is what I would attribute this to. When we see the prices dropped a good chunk, and we see some kind of a bounce of people willing to buy at these prices, and you see that reflected among the cryptocurrency market. They are, however, not bouncing high enough to their prior highs, right? Except for even Chainlink, its prior high for Bitcoin, Link Bitcoin, is 93,615. We're just underneath that. Uniswap as well, not quite there yet. Basic Attention Token is actually surpassing it, but this is actually fairly interesting. I want to talk about this later. Litecoin and XRP are actually on the outskirts, where that move from Bitcoin breaking the 20-week didn't really have a significant effect. I mean, we're already past the local highs. In any case, we see this bounce happening, and this is to be good. This is something that we can expect, but shouldn't be the expectation going forward. The critical point here is for Bitcoin to get back above the 20-week moving average. There is the notion that the 21-week exponential moving average can also be used in this respect, and for that, we held that at the weekly close last week. We held that. So if Bitcoin, over the course of this week, and we do have 5 days and 12 hours left, if it's able to get itself back above, then the possibility that this can continue on, it becomes more of a reality, right? Again, even if we get above this 21-week EMA and close above it, well, then the fight moves on to next week, and then the week after that, if it still holds, and the week after that. So it is a grueling test of, at any point, for any trader, when Bitcoin does this, because the market is holding its breath, essentially. And even though closing above the 21-week EMA or the 20-week moving averages is obviously what we want to continue the bull run, it doesn't make it any easier, because it just gets pushed on to next week until we see this a clear move to the upside, that we can attribute to a bounce, right? Like, you can say, like, this is the grueling battle, then we get this 6.5% move to the upside, and then it keeps on moving up, and we see that decisive move. We have yet to see that with Bitcoin, and again, it also can happen the opposite way. We could see a decisive move to the downside, and that's going to be clear indication that Bitcoin is not holding these levels, and further downside is on its way. And then we could refer to the video that I made of how low Bitcoin can go when we use dominance, the total cryptocurrency market cap, as well as the circulating supply, to help determine where could Bitcoin find a bottom, and that bottom was around 30 to $40,000. Some instances of the calculation came down to 32, some came up to straight 40. right at 40. Um, so it varies. Again, at this point, that might be looking a little too far ahead. For some people, it's far enough. Like myself, where I've already liquidated some of my altcoin positions in the green to lock in profits that I have and moving it back into Bitcoin, increasing my Bitcoin position, reducing my risk, so on and so forth. However, one thing that's interesting for the state of altcoins is that despite this move from the last week, the 10th of May, the week of the 10th of May, when we look at the Bitcoin dominance, we're doing well, right? This is pretty impressive. I mean, even if we flip it to the daily, um, we are able to hold our own, or all coins are able to hold their own against Bitcoin, even at these in this environment where technically speaking, all coins don't do well when Bitcoin is below the 20 weeks. So there's obviously at this point in time, the narrative is changing, right? The sentiment is slowly changing. People are a bit more weary. However, Bitcoin's still at a price where people feel confident that it can go back above the 20-week moving average, and they know that if Bitcoin gets above the 20-week moving average, all coins are going to be relatively fine, and so they buy in. Everyone's buying in. And that's when you get these moves like today where Bitcoin is up, Ethereum's up, Chainlink's up, Uniswap's up, you know, all these altcoins are up. And even before this day, altcoins were holding relatively well. They weren't falling off the sky against their Bitcoin valuations. I mean, we can attribute to right now a 5% loss against Ethereum versus Bitcoin. To the candle bottoms, we're looking at less than a 10% move to the downside. So with that said, altcoins are still doing relatively okay. You have also instances like altcoins like XRP that have been actually rallying higher than their local highs despite Bitcoin's move. Same thing can go with Aave. You could say that with Chainlink now. Chainlink's almost at its prior local highs, and it's looking pretty good. So this is the sentiment now. So however, this doesn't mean, this shouldn't indicate to you or conclude for you that we're gonna get back above the moving averages and everything's gonna be hunky dory. Again, this could also be, or what I think it is a relief rally. Usually, in most cases, when Bitcoin breaks the 20-week moving average, I mean, even though we've held the 21-week EMA, um, it's it's not easy to get back above it. Even though we there is a possibility of it going back up, I'm not going to rule it out. But every single time we've broken the 20-week moving average, it becomes very difficult for us to get back above it. The only instance I can think of is this move here where we did move below the 20-week moving average briefly and we came back up. Another example would be obviously 2013 where we moved decisively down and moved back up. Um, but when we look at these instances when Bitcoin breaks decisively below the 20-week moving average, altcoins really have a hard time. So we better hope that the move that we're in kind of just in like a 3 months time is going to look something like this, where oh yeah, we kind of dipped below the 20-week moving average, but we started rallying back up, right? It better look like that. If it doesn't, then we could be looking at something worse, where it's an actual decisive move below the 20-week moving average and we continue down. All in all, altcoins are doing relatively okay for now. And this is something that could be welcoming for a lot of people. As for me, this is great. However, I'm skeptical at best, very skeptical. When Bitcoin's below the 20-week moving average, this won't, to me, this won't last long. The only caveat is if Bitcoin manages to get back above the 20-week moving average. If it does, if it's able to hold it, then we're good. Then it's fine. It's just a blip on the radar. However, if we're unable to, this week close above the 20 week or 21-week EMA, those moving averages, and we print another red candle, well, guess what? I think sentiment's going to change pretty quick, in terms of the cryptocurrency market, and a lot of people will be converting back into Bitcoin and back into stablecoins, where they're trying to manage their risk. And so for me, I have already done that. Um, yes, I could be thinking too far ahead, but on the off chance that it doesn't make it, which I feel like at this point now with the breakage of the moving average is kind of likely, well, I'd rather consolidate my positions now rather than later. And I'm sacrificing the potential reward of having a larger altcoin position than before, for the in exchange for managing my risk. Obviously, I still have a considerable position in altcoins. I still hold a main core of my Chainlink, main core of my basic attention token, my Uniswap I still have, Litecoin and XRP I still have, and it looks like if this is the move that's gonna that it looks like it's the move. Um, I am not selling those until my sell targets. Um, but again, I still hold my main core of altcoins. I've just reduced them a bit to the point where Bitcoin is now the majority, main stake of my cryptocurrency. Now it's not 51%, but Bitcoin compared to any other altcoin in my portfolio is the largest. It is larger against my Ethereum, larger than Chainlink, etc., etc. Anyway, that's all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.